We're just weeks away from the peak of hurricane season, and Sewerage and Water Board's Turbine 6 is designated as emergency use only. Now, that is a critical piece of equipment that powers the city's drainage pumps. As Alyssa Curtis reports, some New Orleans residents say full turbine capacity or not, they're always prepared for flooding.
One step into more fun comics and you're transported into the world of superheroes.
When I see it start to rain, I start pulling everything up off the ground. I try to make sure that the only stuff that is on the ground is stuff that I can afford to lose.
But the sandbags propped up by the front door are a harsh snap back into reality.
Where prior I would look above for the water, now I'm looking at the ground. I'm looking at it from coming in from the floor.
Owner DC Harbold says after years of being on Oak Street, he's seen more than his fair share of water rising. At this point, he has an in-case of flooding system for his inventory-packed business.
You just prepare. You know, I have things at least, 5 to 6 inches off the ground, and the things that are on the ground I can lift up pretty quickly. The problem is if it happens overnight when I'm not here.
Harbold says even when all the pumps and drains are working, he still has to prepare for the worst.
Always preparing for rainy season, even when it's not rainy season. We don't need a tremendous amount of rain to see flooding on Oak Street.
So he wasn't really concerned when we told him that Sewerage and Water Board's Turbine 6 has been designated as emergency use only. Turbines supply the electricity needed to run the city's drainage pumps. Having a turbine down could mean less power. According to Sewerage and Water Board, quote, during a routine inspection of Turbine 6, an issue was identified with an expansion joint. They say, quote, the necessary parts are available and General Electric will begin facilitating the repairs, which they anticipate will be done by the end of the month. They say there is no immediate threat to operations and, quote, as a proactive and precautionary measure, we are submitting a request for temporary backup generators to be deployed in the event of a hurricane. While Harbold says he's always on flood standby, he wishes the infrastructure would ease his worries.
Tell me that you've got the rest of it covered. Tell me that you've cleaned out all the drains. Tell me that you've inspected. Tell me what else you've done.
Hoping one day he and his comics are the only ones greeting customers, not the sandbags. In New Orleans, Alyssa Curtis, WWL, Louisiana.
Entergy's new multi-million-dollar power substation is expected to be flipped on soon, and according to Entergy, the work to energize the substation has been completed on budget and on deadline. They tell us they stand ready to energize the facility as soon as Sewerage and Water Board gives them the green light.